Hi everyone and welcome back. And if you have watched the first two parts of this series, thank you. This is part 3. For those of you who are here for the first time, my name is Shobha and I am a trained counselor, and I am very happy to be here. And my interest is in psychology and why we do what we do. And this is a 3-part series, so I strongly encourage you to go and watch the other 2 parts first before you start watching this part. And I hope you enjoy the last part of this series. And yeah, thank you for being here, and I hope you enjoy the video. So we have done 2 parts, and now let's look at part 3. So if helping can become an identity, then we are faced with a difficult moral question. Should we stop helping altogether? Some people, after recognizing patterns of people-pleasing or codependency, swing violently in the opposite direction. They become fiercely independent, suspicious of vulnerability and protective of their time, obsessed with boundaries, almost allergic to obligation. And yes, it is understandable. I mean, after years of extending themselves, they discover the intoxicating relief of saying no. But pendulums rarely stop in the middle. They swing from one extreme to another, and the rescuer becomes emotionally unavailable. The giver becomes guarded. Compassion is often replaced with self-protection. And the sad thing is, this is not freedom. It is merely another adaptation. The goal of psychological maturity has never been to become less loving. It has been to become free enough that love is a choice rather than a compulsion. That distinction changes everything, because love that cannot choose is no longer entirely love. It is necessity, it is identity, it is survival. Healthy generosity begins from an entirely different foundation. It begins with the quiet conviction that my worth is not something that I must continuously earn. So Carl Rogers, one of the founders of humanistic psychology, believed that every person possesses an inherent value independent of performance or approval. His concept of unconditional positive regard was not naive optimism about human nature. It was a profound statement about what allows people to grow. People flourish when they experience acceptance that is not contingent upon achievement, usefulness, or perfection. This idea is revolutionary because it challenges one of the oldest assumptions many of us carry, that love must somehow be deserved. If I am loved only because I achieve, then achievement becomes my identity. If I am loved only because I am useful, usefulness becomes my identity. If I am loved only because I keep the peace, peacekeeping becomes my identity. But if I discover that I possess worth before I accomplish anything, then something extraordinary happens. Helping becomes an expression of who I am, not evidence that I deserve to exist. And this distinction is subtle, yet it separates psychological freedom from psychological dependence. The difference is perhaps best understood through 2 simple sentences. The first says, I help because I have something to give. The second says, I help because I need to be someone who gives. Outwardly, these 2 lives appear almost identical. Inwardly, however, they are worlds apart. One acts from abundance and the other from deficiency. One can stop, the other cannot. One is generous and the other is trapped. Perhaps nowhere is this more evident than in the relationships rescuers often find themselves drawn towards. It is an uncomfortable observation, but one repeated so frequently in both psychology and ordinary life that it deserves serious consideration. Rescuers often attract people who need rescuing. At first, this appears almost providential. One possesses endless compassion and the other possesses endless need. Each seem to complete something in the other. The rescuer experiences purpose, the dependent experiences safety. The relationship feels intensively meaningful. Yet, over time, something begins to shift. The rescuer grows exhausted. The dependent struggles to develop independence, and resentment quietly accumulates on both sides. One feels unappreciated, the other feels controlled, and neither understands how they arrived there. The tragedy is that both people entered the relationship seeking something psychologically legitimate. One sought significance and the other sought security. But significance cannot be sustained by another person's dependence, nor can security be built upon another person's perpetual sacrifice. Healthy relationships require something more difficult. They require two whole people who choose one another, not two wounded people attempting to complete one another. And this brings us to one of the most counterintuitive truths in psychology. Helping is not always helpful. There are moments where intervention is an act of love. A child running into traffic should be stopped. A friend in acute crisis should not be abandoned. A stranger collapsing on the street deserves immediate assistance. These are circumstances where action is unquestionably the moral response. But there are other countless situations where suffering serves a purpose. A student who never struggles rarely develops resilience. A young adult whose every mistake is corrected seldom develops responsibility. A colleague who is constantly rescued never learns confidence. Human beings become capable by encountering difficulty, not by permanently being protected from it. And this is one of the paradoxes of development. Competence is born from challenge. Confidence emerges from repeated experiences of solving problems we once believed was impossible. Meaning often grows through adversity rather than comfort. When we prematurely remove every obstacle from another person's path, we may unintentionally remove the very experiences that would have transformed them. This is not cruelty, it is respect. Respect says that I believe you are capable. Overprotection often communicates something very different. It says, I do not believe that you can manage without me. One builds autonomy and the other builds dependence. The philosopher Søren Kierkegaard, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, once suggested that the deepest forms of despair arise when people fail to become themselves. It is a remarkable observation because it shifts our understanding of human flourishing. The greatest tragedy is not failure, it is self-abandonment. And perhaps this is where the rescuer pays the highest price. Every hour devoted to everyone else's life is an hour unavailable for one's own becoming. This is not an argument against generosity. It is an argument for remembering that we, too, belong among the people worthy of our care. The energy that we spend endlessly solving other people's lives is energy that we cannot simultaneously be invested in developing our own. We have books that remain unread, dreams that remain postponed, careers remain underdeveloped, talents remain unexplored. Health deteriorates, curiosity fades, the future self quietly waits. This is the opportunity cost of compulsive usefulness, not simply exhaustion, but unrealized potential. I sometimes wonder how many different lives may look If a fraction of the energy spent earning worth through usefulness had instead invested in becoming wiser, healthier, more educated, more courageous, and more fully alive, imagine what the world would gain when the helper also chooses to grow, or a teacher who continues learning, a counselor who tends to her own emotional life, a parent who pursues a forgotten dream, a doctor who protects his own well-being, and a volunteer that understands that rest is not selfish but responsible. The irony is almost beautiful. The more whole we become, the more freely we can give. Not because we need gratitude, not because we fear rejection, not because we are desperate to remain indispensable, but because generosity has become an overflow rather than a transaction. Carl Jung described the second half of his life as the task of individuation, the lifelong process of becoming the person we are uniquely capable of becoming. It is not the pursuit of perfection, but of integration. We gradually stop living according to the roles that once protected us and begin living from a deeper, more authentic center. For the rescuer, individuation requires an extraordinary act of courage. It requires discovering who you are when there is no one left to rescue. Can you sit in silence without immediately searching for someone else's problem to solve? Can you pursue your own education without feeling guilty that your attention is no longer available to everyone else? Can you allow people to struggle without interpreting their struggle as your responsibility? Can you receive care as freely as you give it? Can you believe that someone might love you even when you have nothing to offer except your extraordinary, imperfect presence? These are not merely therapeutic questions. They're existential ones because they ask us to confront the possibility that our value has never depended upon our usefulness. Perhaps that is what genuine maturity finally discovers, that our lives are not additions for acceptance. We're not endlessly performing in the hope that someone will finally conclude that we are enough. We were never meant to earn our humanity, only to inhabit it. When I think back to my friend, I still think of him with enormous affection. I still believe he is one of the kindest people I have known. Perhaps my interpretation of his life is incomplete. Perhaps it is entirely wrong. Human beings are mysteries, even to themselves. But his life gave me a question that has continued to echo within my own. A question that eventually became less about him and more about me. Why was I so comfortable carrying everyone else's burdens, yet so reluctant to carry my own? Why did I instinctively respond to another person's pain while postponing my own growth? Why did I find purpose in being indispensable rather than simply becoming myself? Those questions changed the way that I understand generosity. Today, I no longer believe that the opposite of selfishness is self-sacrifice, nor do I believe that the highest moral ideal is to become indispensable to everyone around us. Instead, I have come to believe something both simpler and far more demanding. Our first responsibility is not to become useful, it is to become whole. For only a whole person can truly give without secretly needing something in return. Only a whole person can celebrate another's independence without experiencing it as a personal loss. Only a whole person can serve without disappearing. And perhaps that is the quiet paradox at the heart of a meaningful life. The people who leave the deepest mark on the world are rarely those who spend their lives proving their worth. They are the ones who have already discovered it. Their generosity is not a plea to be needed. It is simply love set free. If you have watched until the end of the video, I thank you for listening all the way till the very end. And I hope that you have enjoyed this series. If you have, and you have enjoyed watching all 3 videos, please give it a thumbs up and share this video with someone you like. Thank you, and have a lovely day. Bye.
If you spend any time online, you've heard it a million times. It's the universal sign-off, the creator's mantra. Like, share, subscribe. We hear it so often it's just kind of become background noise, right? But what if I told you those 3 little words aren't just a polite request? They're actually a powerful set of commands that literally shape the internet you experience. So let's just put it all together one more time. Liking is your vote for quality. Sharing is your tool for expansion. And subscribing is your act of community building. Every single click has a distinct and vital impact on the digital world we all live in. So, the next time you hear that familiar sign-off, remember this. You are not just passively watching something. You are an active participant. You are a curator, deciding what content deserves to be seen. You're an amplifier, giving it a bigger voice. And you're a patron, supporting the creators that you really value. So remember, your clicks have real weight. They actually shape the internet that we all share. They can elevate an unknown artist, they can spread a vital idea, or they can build a global community. You hold that power in your hands. The only question left is, now that you know the code, how are you going to use it?